Listen to God. Listen to God every day. Listen to God every day. You will go to heaven and you will be with God and your other, oh man, I forgot the line.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Blessed is the one who finds wisdom and the one who gets understanding. For the gain from her is better than the gain from silver, and her profit is better than gold. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? The fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, the fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord, fear of the Lord is the beginning of understanding. The fear of the Lord is understanding, understanding. Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way? Does not wisdom come? Does not understanding raise her voice on the heights beside the way?
Well, howdy do, everybody. Brad here with the Big Family Homestead. Hope you're having an awesome and blessed Saturday. Welcome to the Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. Good weekend to you all. We have a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's just start here. We don't do fear. We're not going to do fear. We're not going to try and scare you into buying something or convince you have to have this widget, gadget, or gadget to be safe. No. We're going to be steely-eyed, look into what we can see as to what is ahead of us, and then make the best preparations we can to do that. No fear. We don't do fear. Okay? So, that said, the second largest bank in U.S. history has completely folded. Yeah. Did you hear about that? SVB. Now, there's been such huge ripples in the financial world right now, guys, that the already teetering dollar has really, really taken a hard hit. And I am going to talk about some things that I don't think you're going to hear a lot of other places, because I'll have to be very careful how I censor my language, because otherwise channels get deplatformed or just disappear, or no one ever hears what happens to the videos or why they're not being pushed. Well, that's what happens sometimes. So that said, we are seeing the beginnings of a major meltdown. Okay. If you guys don't know, we don't have, we have fiat currency. Let's call it what it is. The dollar, the American dollar, is basically only as valuable as whatever the government says that it is, and then we believe it, because it's not backed by gold. Back in the day, for those who don't know, it used to be that $1 was worth X amount of gold. And if you wanted to, you could go to the bank and get that gold. Well, then they started fractional reserve banking. They started all kinds of stuff. They took us off the gold standard. There's a whole lot of history to this that we don't have time to get into today. But all to say that the dollar is only worth whatever the government says, and we accept. I hope that makes sense. By the way, please understand, this is a live broadcast, even though that some of you guys are going to be watching this on the replay. You're going to think, oh, is this a live thing? It is a live thing, but add comments to the mix there. My memory stinks. AAPs, Elaine, Garden, I can't see. Gaddin something, Tun, Shun, yeah. Jan, all you guys, add your 2 cents to the mix. Please hit a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm so that we actually get things out there. And don't forget, your comments are recorded. People can come back and see them in the future. That way, you may have some amazing point that I didn't think up, and I welcome that. So jump into it, because here it is. If the dollar buckles, what does the world look like? Now, let me ask you this, okay? Going to play a little bit of a game with you, okay? So, do you know what? Okay, I got to back this up. When countries get so in debt, what is historically the single thing that will be the quickest way to get your country out of debt? Do you guys know? I guarantee you some of you know. With some of these names that I'm seeing here, somebody knows. What's the single biggest way historically that you get out of debt? Because there's only a few ways to get out of debt. Anybody know? Kelly, how about you? Kelly Copley, Kelly DeFore. Oh, hey. Debbie, anybody? Thoughts? Kathy got it right. Bam. Right off the bat. Heather, Shelley got it right. AAPs. That's unfortunately a fact. That is unfortunately a fact. And let me tell you what, if you start looking around, you don't have to do too much digging to understand all of the pieces are being positioned. They're all being set up, okay? Now, I like watching channels like Monkey Works, because he's going to tell you troop movements. This is all public information, but you can go watch. He analyzes data points. He loves his data points. I love data points too. We'd probably get along good. But he analyzes what's going on and then says, okay, these are these kind of airplanes, military planes that are going here, there, and everywhere. And then you can really get a picture as to what the upper levels are doing in terms of positioning people, equipment, and stuff. Now, okay, that said, I will say this. I've got to be careful how I say this. I know for a fact that there are military spots in very critical, I'm trying to think how to say this, critical locations around the globe that are being bolstered and really, really beefed up with more troops and different kinds of MOSs, jobs that are specific to making sure that troops get places and lots of troops get places. If that makes sense. All that I can say is this. If you play chess, what has happened is you basically are watching the queen get set up, surrounded, and then the king's next. We're seeing the troop movements that are happening. That it's kind of a scary thing. So you combine that. Now just go with me here. The dollar, does anybody even know how many trillions of dollars in debt we are in now? The last time I heard, I think it was like 12. I stopped caring at that point because it's like, it's going to crash. It's just not if, it's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of when. So that, because you can't get out of it at that point. Can somebody Google that real quick? No way. Somebody said, CUCV Farmer says, oh, I don't want to read that, but you guys read that comment. Holy mackerel. If that's reality, all the pieces are being positioned. It's chess. So, holy moly. I'm seeing that survival seamstress, 31 trillion. Okay. I was never really the best at like higher level math in school, but the lower level math stuff, I could hold my own in algebra. Algebra 2, I was pretty much done after that, to be honest. But I don't think you have to be a collegiate mathematician to figure out that you're not coming back from that without some serious upset. And here's why I'm saying. The last statistic that I heard was that it was over $150,000 for each man, woman, and child in the United States just to pay it back to get to zero. Let that sink in. Now, I could be off a little bit on the number, but I know it was over 100 grand. So, if we're positioning troops all over the world, as we see on Monkey Works channel and many others, these are public information things, and I know for a fact X, Y, and Z people are getting positioned here, there, and everywhere, and they're getting positioned, well, in places of support, and then possibly, whoa, Colleen. Guys, read that comment. That's unbelievable. Yes, CUC Farmer, I was going to get to that. China is dumping U.S. Treasury notes. T-bills used to be one of the most bulletproof investments you could make. Why? Because you were betting on the United States. The confidence was in the United States' ability to repay it, right? Everybody's pulling out of the dollar. Russia, look at what they're doing. Look at all of the money we're dumping into that other country that's nearby there. The Russians are having a hard time with them, I think. I can't really put my finger on it. It's like something, I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. So, is it just me? Are you guys, honestly, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Because I don't think that the majority of the folks in the U.S., either they don't see it or they don't believe it, okay? Either they don't see what we're talking about as real, or they don't just believe it's possible. They just, and I understand, okay, ukulele. Cool points to Dixie Living. By the way, you will be awarded cool points if you come up with cool, fun, and witty comments. If I catch them, you will be awarded cool points. 2 cool points to Dixie Living Homestead. So, is it just me, guys? Because I understand that the World War II generation folks, the folks that are a little bit older than me, I am getting, what do they call that? Chronologically challenged, but I'm not ready to throw dirt on me just yet. But I think that they have a very different view of the United States. than a lot of people. And I understandably why. Think about all that generation did. Think about what they went through. Think about how they grew up. It's a different world, my friends. And I get it. I understand it. But I think, though, that we've got to, at some point, acknowledge that the world's changed. I'll be honest with you. My view growing up was the Pollyanna, rose-colored glasses, stars and stripes forever, mom, apple pie, the whole 9 yards. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker up until probably about 10 years ago when, you start seeing one thing be confirmed as true historically that the government did, and it was super shady. And then you see another one, and it started out as a conspiracy theory, right? Oh, no, it's crazy talk. And then you see that was true. And then you see that was true. And at some point, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're joking or not, but I don't even know how to say your channel name. Anuhea. Anue? I'm betting Fort Knox has no gold. I'm going with a probably very little, if any. Probably. Sorry. Didn't mean to laugh like that, guys. Christa, oh yeah, she's out there. She knew I was going to be all hot and bothered talking about money and finances and what we need to do, what we need to embrace. She's like, I don't want to talk with you when you get like this because you get all flustered. But I'm like, we got to talk to these people because a lot of the people that watch our channel, I know, are the prepared-minded type people. Most of us are, but we still got to reach out and we got to convince those who can be still convinced that it's not too late. Oh, Anuhea. Well, sorry. Didn't mean to butcher your name. Whether you're a male or female, I do not know, but sir or ma'am, Anuhea. Doggone it. Well, I hope you forgive me. Anyway, we're more like Watchmen, says AAP's variety channel. Okay. I think we've got to do our best to reach out and help folks. I mean, for crying out loud, did you guys hear that just recently it was confirmed that one alphabet soup agency was, in fact, paying a certain person to a former president on a grassy knoll somewhere? It came out that they had that person on the payroll. Well, ain't that something? All of these lies, all of this time. And now we're just supposed to believe everything you say about everything. Can you believe that? It blows my mind. It really does blow my mind. So here's where we're at. If you think that everything is business as usual, let's go down this road for just a second. Yeah, it just was released that they actually have proof that he was on the payroll. It disgusts me, to be honest. It really does. I don't know how any human could do that to another human at all, intentionally. Elaine, I'm not going to read that. I'd like for other people to watch this video. As a matter of fact, what'd be great is if you hit thumbs up, make a comment of some kind, say hi or whatever, because that shows the YouTube algorithm, hey, there's people watching this and we should put the video out. Anyway, that said, the second largest bank failure in the history of our country just happened. Where's all that money go? First of all, okay, I got to bank up. Remember the other one, the guy with the crazy hair, the bank freedman guy, the Bitcoin thief, the Ponzi scheme guy? What happened to him? Somebody might want to Google that. What happened to him? Bankman-Fried. Did he go to jail? Curious. And that scam, where's all the money go? right? Where's all the money go? He was giving lots of money to certain political campaigns. That's come out. That's come out. Now, you say that and you go, okay, well, that really stinks. He was a thief. He was like that guy, the other one, the one that was before, Bernie Madoff. So they get in trouble and then they go on with life, right? Well, so, okay, you got that guy. Now, you've got this bank, which you're talking huge, huge dollars. And the they say, oh, well, most of that money is insured. Wait a minute. If most of that money is insured, well, then why were there people literally escorted out from some of those offices today when they were trying to get their deposits because they were kind of freaking out? They wanted their deposits, and the police showed up and they said, no, you may not. And then that bank fails. Isn't that weird? So what happens to all that money? What happens to all that money? Because not everybody's insured. And if you look at the FDIC, the way that it's written, some people only get $100,000 back. Some might only get $200,000. Depends on the deal you got, right? So there's a heck of a lot more money that was lost than what they're going to pay out in insurance. Where's that money go? Scratch, 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 as Brad pensively strokes his beard. So here's another question. We're looking at the chessboard, right? How many of you guys play chess? Space Girl, do you play chess? Pipkin, how about you? Debbie? Billy? Does anybody play chess? I'm just questioning because I'm a bad chess player, but I'm good enough to beat my kids still. How about you guys? Anybody like that? I'm just good enough so I can still beat them. And then they think, oh, I'm just a genius and I just revel in it. Love it. Right? D225 says the FDIC can take 99 years to pay. That sounds like a data point to me. Sounds like a data point, doesn't it? So, if you play chess, you don't just make a move without thinking about 3-4 moves down the road. If you jump before you make those plans, you're going to get crushed. They're going to take you out in a few moves. Okay? You can't just think of your own move or even the move of what might happen to the piece that's coming after you make your move. It's got to be several moves down the road or else you're crushed. Just not going to happen. You've got to think like, I know that they say that, certain politicians who shall not be named because you really get banned if you name, So we're just not going to do that. But you know who I'm talking about that plays 4D chess. 4D chess, right? Now, we've got unprecedented debt that we can't pay back. Then historically, we know what is the single best way that you get out of debt as a country, historically. You guys typed it in earlier. Somebody will type it in again. So you've got that. You got troop movements that are being disseminated all over the globe in places that look really strategic and have not been bolstered in a long time. Okay? Debt, that thing, troop movements, banks collapsing, and the money just disappears. Oh, yeah, and we keep giving money to a country who's not a NATO nation by like a lot of it. Lots and lots and lots. Now, folks, in the beginning, I promised you we don't do fear. We do reality. So, you see where this is going. I don't think anybody has to be a rocket surgeon to figure out where this is going, right? Weimar Republic. Somebody mentioned that in a comment there, that Gaddy, I don't know how to say your channel name, man. Sorry. Hey, everybody. By the way, who's your favorite channel for watching the strategic stuff? Because mine's Monkey Works, and that's WERX. He didn't ask me. He doesn't even know me. He didn't ask me to plug his channel. I just like watching his channel. He seems like a solid dude. What's your favorite strategic channel to watch? Just type it on in there. That way it'll be in the chat and people can say, oh, I could really look at these channels here. So my point is this. We see where this is going. All right. Anthony, ABL. Yeah, I like ABL. He's good dude. No, I know Cindy. It was a joke. A rocket surgeon. Yeah, I got it. Rocket scientist. I got it. It was a joke. Apparently, I didn't do a very good jokey thing. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of Glenn Beck. Yeah, he's pretty much on the same train I am when it comes to this stuff, for sure. Matter of fact, I was just watching Glenn Beck earlier. So we see where this is going. Here's the question. What are you doing to prepare for a potential collapse? You know? Would you be able to feed your family? Would you be able to have fresh water? This is the part where I'm trying to say, okay, we're not doing with fear. I'm not selling you a filter. We don't do any of that. I'm just concerned for, the people that are supposed to be getting ready. Are you? We went today. When I started reading up more about this SVB bank that just closed its doors, we went to the biggest smallish city nearby us to top off our stores and things and, the stuff that you use. And it's like, you know what? It would probably be wise, not only because of all this nonsense, we're getting snow and we've just figured, well, let's go ahead and get over there. Let me tell you what, people, there were a lot of people and a lot of lines at a lot of banks that I was noticing as we were driving through this town. Could that just be a coincidence that it's snow? It might be. It might be. Maybe it's a coincidence that the Sam's Club that we went to was the busiest I've ever seen it, and twice as busy as just about any day near Christmas time. Oops. That skateboard deck fell back there. Or maybe I was talking to another Walmart employee that we went there. And the guy said it's been busier than he can ever remember it being, even in Christmas time. Kind of like people just maybe instinctively know something. So here's the question. Could you feed your family and restock, say, for 6 months? Could you? I personally would say you need to be considering that a lot longer. How long do you guys think? Because I'm curious. The most preparedness-minded people that we know, everybody's all over the map on how long they suggest you should have X amount of food for X amount of people. What is the rule that you guys think? Because to me, in my mind, it's got to be a year per person. And I know that's a lot. People are freaking out. They think, oh, I could never do that. I could never do that. Well, it doesn't happen overnight. And of course, you start with the cheap stuff, rice and beans and things that shelf life stays a long time. And if you got stuck, you might not like it, but you could survive while you're getting from garden season to garden season and yada, yada, right? I would say a year is a minimum. That's where you start. Then you go from there. Then The second you start storing the rice and beans, the second you're learning everything you can do to get yourself in a position of resupply. Gardening, chickens, rabbits, skills that you can trade. Skills that are valuable if there wasn't electricity. How about that? You know what? One of the most probably how would I say this? One of the most sought after people, if you can't go to the store and buy new clothes when yours get all torn up, if you don't know how to sew, you're going to really want to befriend somebody who knows how to sew, right? Popular skill, I would think. Right? Here's the thing. I don't want to go into the hyper details of preparing in terms of I want to, but that's just not for this video. We're gonna start a series on these are the ways to start. Don't be afraid. And I'm hoping that the people that come here will help. GFG Homestead, Dixie Living Homestead, Crazy Prepper Linda. I am hoping that you guys will chime in and that you will give advice to people that are trying to get started, get sorted out. I mean, there is, if you have not done this before, you understand then that there is a healthy amount of anxiety that goes into going, am I able to do this? We're going to start with things like getting spouses on board, whether it's the husband or wife, getting the spouses on board. We're going to go through things like how much food, what kind of food, how to store food, how to prepare stored food. We're going to go through those things, but we're going to need your help doing it, okay? And I'm being as serious as I can. We've got to share this knowledge because we're going to need each other more than ever. Start building community. Find out who your neighbors are. Talk to them. Learn skills, says Chris P. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Absolutely. And so that said, my hope for you is that we will all grow in sharing knowledge and then put it to work. Put it to work, okay? Because here's the deal, guys. You can have all of the magnesium fire starters in the world, and if you've never really tried to make a fire with one, what good is it going to do you if you've never done it successfully? Could you make a fire if the wood was damp, wet? If you didn't have nice, super dry wood, would you even know how? We're going to go through those things. We're going to do it step by step by step. Good. You guys are giving great advice already. I can see it. I'm hoping Space Girl will be around. I'm hoping that a lot of you guys are going to be around here. Eat what you store. Learn how those beans and rice. It's not just dinner anymore. Hey, and when it comes to rice and beans, get a bunch of different spices. Because if you're having what's called food fatigue, this is just a scenario. Food fatigue. If you eat beans all the time, first of all, it's going to be but if you have different spices, if you have different ways to prepare those beans, boy, it makes it a heck of a lot more tolerable, doesn't it? Now, for the biggest thing, I think I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time. I think I want to round out the afternoon here soon. But the far biggest thing is this. The one thing that if you prepare all of this stuff, you get the knowledge, you get the skills, you're building community, and you're doing all this, but all it's buying you is a couple extra days of breathing and existing here. If that's all it's buying you, you might want to reconsider how you're spending your time, because your spiritual life is the only important thing in this life. Yeah, there's things we do, people we love. I'm not saying we don't. But if you don't have that sorted, none of this matters. You need to know who God is. You need to know who Jesus is. And you need to know that he loves you. You need to know that he has paid the price for every sin we will ever commit. But we have to ask for it. We have to ask for forgiveness. And it's not a joke, man. It's not a joke. I'm going to be done with the sermon here, okay? I just want you to know that that is the most important thing, the only important thing. If you have all the rice and beans in the world and you don't know who God is, holy mackerel, boy, what a waste. So that said, that's it. By the way, I've got some free music for you guys. If you like to listen to music, go over to bigfamilyhomestead.com, and then there's a store. It's no charge. Everything's free. But I've been doing music that is scripture. And it's like cool music. It's drums and pianos and all that, and all this stuff, guitars. And it's free, and it's there for you to download. And all it is scripture. There's nothing. I don't add my 2 cents. Nothing's changed. Just the word of God. So go check it out. Please hit that like. Hit that subscribe. It really does go out. Christa and I are going to be hammering on these basics, and I hope that you're going to be along for the ride. What we're going to try to do is around 1:30 in the afternoon as often as we can, okay? 1:30 in the afternoon as often as we can. So here's one of those tunes now. You guys have an awesome rest of your weekend, and while it still lasts, Shabbat Shalom. Have a blessed night, guys. Bye.
Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion, which cannot be moved, but abides forever. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. Do good, O Lord, to those who are good, and to those who are upright in their hearts. But those who turn aside to their crooked ways, the Lord will lead away with evildoers. Peace be upon Israel. For the scepter of wickedness shall not rest on the land allotted to the righteous, lest the righteous stretch out their hands to do wrong. As the mountains surround Jerusalem, so the Lord surrounds his people from this time forth and forevermore. as the mountains surround Jerusalem. So the Lord surrounds his people from this time